Okay, so today we're getting very specific with this cat in my way. We're talking about a specific phrase that is used in a specific scenario in really any fiction. Maybe sometimes in real life if you're some kind of stereotypical, badly written villain. But there's this phrase that is uttered so many times when a villain is facing up with a hero in, like, the climactic battle of whatever piece of fiction you are watching, listening to, reading, viewing, however you want to do it. That phrase being, "We're not so different, you and I." That was sort of a Soldier 76 voice, but that's not, I don't think he has uttered that. He probably has. Everyone has. People say that all the time in movies, TV, whatever, and it's so annoying to me. Like, I get the point that they're trying to illustrate with this, but there are so many better ways to go about doing that than literally have your villain state, "We're not so different, you and I." Because, yeah, that's a common, and it's a good trope of having your villain be the other side of a coin, where Batman might be heads and Joker is tails. Something like that. And honestly, like, I think in whichever, I always forget, it's a Joker line, I think, from some movie or comic or whatever, where he's just like, "One bad day and you could be me." And that's bordering on "We're not so different, you and I," but it's better. It's not explicitly stating it. It's in tune with the character. Just like, he's just spouting some crazy shit that sounds crazy, but actually makes sense. The best example recently that I've seen of this trope done well, of comparing a villain and a hero, or really just two characters, is in Daredevil Season 3. So, slight spoilers for Daredevil Season 3, which is fucking fantastic, by the way. Best season of that show. Probably best season of any of the Netflix shows. It's the relationship between Daredevil and Kingpin has always been sort of two sides of the same coin. But, and I'm pretty sure in Season 1, Kingpin probably said, "We're not so different, you and I," so a little bit points docked for that. But the relationship shown between Kingpin and Bullseye, and then later in the season, Kingpin, Bullseye, and Daredevil, is so well done. It's so beautiful. This video has been an idea I wanted to do for a while, but the way that they do it in that season, and the way that they do a lot of shit in that season, is so well done. Just inspired me to talk about this. Basically, what they're doing is they're showing it through, they're showing their similarities through cinematography instead of expository dialogue. So you'll have Kingpin. There's basically a whole episode where Kingpin is researching Bullseye's childhood, and it's shown in this beautiful way of this just very good series of scenes. It's hard to describe with a 5-minute timer, but just go watch it. It's great. And they're just showing similarities between Kingpin's childhood and Bullseye's childhood, and similarities between Kingpin's psyche and Bullseye's psyche in, like, present day. And it's just really well done, and I love every bit of it. I eat that shit up. It goes back to the classic show don't tell. Like, prove to us that your hero is not so different than your villain. Prove to us that, these two villains aren't different and they're gonna go down a similar path regardless of their end goals. Instead of just showing up and being like, "Hey, Iron Man, we're not so different, you and I." It's just bad writing. It's just lazy. That's really what it is. It's just lazy. And I mean, there are other ways that you could do this. You could mess with the verbiage, which is similar to that Joker thing that I talked about earlier. You could mess with the verbiage of it and just not say, "We're not so different, you and I." Just, you gotta earn it. You know what I mean? You have to show it and then maybe capitalize it for those in your audience who aren't quite clued in yet, which is a little annoying, especially if it's pretty explicit. But like the Batman and the Joker thing, that's fine because they're so physically different from one another that it's sometimes it's a really tough job. It's a really tough job to illustrate the similarities between them when they are so different at face value. But yeah, those are the reasons that I hate the phrase "we're not so different, you and I" in any form of media. If you have no idea what I'm talking about and you've never heard that phrase before, bless you. You have not been hurt by this trope But yeah, go watch Daredevil Season 3. But more importantly, watch tomorrow's video and the video that's next to me. See you then. Ugh.